Hey guys, I am out sick today, but I definitely wanted to put a screencast out to let you, to kind of give you an example on the boat project that we're doing. So I'm going to quickly build a boat, and you can view this video as many times as you want to. You can pause, rewind, watch it again. I'm just going to show you some basic stuff on how to get a basic boat built. So first of all, you want to go over here to your community featured shapes. The bolt hole is right here. You can always make up your own, but this one's kind of pre-done for you, which makes it nice and easy. Your maximum specs are 150 millimeters on the Y and 50 millimeters on the X. I'm sorry, it's I think 150 on the X and 50 on the Y. That's how wide it is. And the Z here is going to end up being 30, but I'm going to wait until we get that cylinder in there to see how tall it's going to be. So now that I have a bolt hole, I'm going to, and the specs that I want it, the length and the width I want, I'm going to duplicate it. And by duplicating, you're going to see that it's actually, there's another boat right there inside of it. That's the one I'm going to turn into a hole. Get some room over here so we can see the numbers easy. Now remember that the walls, the minimum kind of width that you have to have is 3 millimeters in width on any of the walls that are being printed, just so it's not too flimsy or too weak. So if we have a 50 and 150, I'm going to have to subtract 6 because both sides of the walls, 3 on each side, has to be smaller. So let's make that 44 millimeters, and let's make that 144 millimeters. The other thing is that we have to have the bottom of the boat be 3 millimeters thick. So let's raise this off the work plane 3 millimeters. And I think that might be part that, some of you are forgetting, is raising that work plane up. So now I'm going to marquee highlight both of these, and I'm going to use the align tool, which is right here. Align, and I'm going to align to the center here, and I'm going to align to the center here. And then once they're aligned, you can group them. And now you can see it's perfectly centered and aligned, so the thickness on each side of the boat is the same. So let's go ahead and go back and work on the mast holder, which is just going to be a cylinder. So drag out a cylinder. If you're using a straw, let's make your specs 12 by 12 on the X and Y. That will give me that perfect circle. And then let's duplicate it. And let's make the hole, turn that into a hole. Let's make those specs 6.5, because the straw is about 6 millimeters wide. And I'm just doing the 0.5 just for a little bit of wiggle room. We could always put a little glue in there, but if it's too small, then we can't get that in there. So I'd rather just have a tiny bit of wiggle room by giving it a 0.5 millimeter, which isn't much, really, not much at all. So there's my 6.5 circle. I'm going to marquee highlight the 2 cylinders and align those to the center and to the center and group. So now you have a cylinder that has been perfectly aligned, and you can see down in that hole right there. There it is. Yeah, it's evenly, the walls around the circle are even. All right, let's move that on over to our boat. You can put it where you'd like it. Just remember that you do need to lift that up, because if you look down here on the bottom, you're going to see that coming through. So let's lift this up. I want it to be kind of still sunk into the boat, so I'm only going to lift it up 2 millimeters instead of 3, so it's in the boat. It'll give it better adhesion, which means it sticks together. So let's put that at 2 millimeters, bringing it up off the work plane. And let's just double check, make sure you can't see it coming through. Yep, looks good. And marquee highlight and group. There you go. That's the basic boat. Now, if you want to put your name on it, it's a little tricky if you're going to do it on the outside or the inside, because you're going to have to know how to use the angle. So if you're not ready for that, I suggest that you just take a work plane and put it right on the lip of the boat. Put your text there, because you can make that text really small. So I'm going to put mine as this is a, actually, you know what? Boats usually have kind of some sentimental name. Let's see, let me think. I'm going to call this boat the Susie Lee, because that was my grandmother's name, Susie Lee Rowe. And I'm going to make it pretty small, and I'm going to move it right there. You know, I don't want that much of a thickness or width, so I'm going to change that to, let's see, we can actually just eyeball it. Let's make it small. It's the height that I need to take down. It's 10. Let's put that about, I'm going to put it more at about 3. There we go. And still use your arrow keys. Oh, it's a tiny bit too big. That's 4, and that's 3 wide, so I definitely need to keep that at a 3 wide. And put this a little bit smaller. Let's put it at a 50. There we go. And let me just move that down and over. So I'm making it pretty small, but that's okay. You know, if it's way easier to put it on a flat surface than try to use that angle feature. But if you're ready for it, let's do it. Okay. So now I have that on the lip of my boat. I think I'm going to put that into the workbench just a touch, or put it into the boat. So I'm going to take it down like just a little bit. So it's like kind of stuck inside of that boat just a little bit. There we go, the Susie Lee. There it is, boys and girls. Last thing I have to do is group those letters. And I have a boat ready for printing. All right, good luck. Have fun today. And no printing without me. Bye.